From Arkansas's breaking news leader, Fox 16 News at 5:30 starts now.
Report cards were handed out today, not for students, but for the schools they attend. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Fox 16 News at 5:30. I'm Donna Terrell.
I'm Kevin Kelly. The school rating system assigns a letter grade to each school and gives an overview under the Every Student Succeeds Act.
The school letter grades are part of our state accountability system. They are required by state legislation. They are based on the ESSA School Index calculation, which is part of our federal accountability plan.
5 school districts are under state control for either fiscal or academic distress. They include Dollarway, Pine Bluff, Lee County, Earl, and Little Rock. As many of you know, the Little Rock School District under academic distress, and the state is now figuring out a way to get it back under local control.
But some argue the way the data is gathered is not the right way to measure a school's success. Fox 16 Stephanie Sharp spoke with the Little Rock superintendent, who says there are a lot of positives in the growth score. Explain that, Stephanie.
Yeah, Donna. Well, the state has been releasing this info since 2016. And you can see this map right here. It was tweeted by a state senator today. It shows the layout of the Little Rock school districts and the grades given. Many schools are left with grades ranging from A, and 8 schools have Fs. The Department of Education says there is a lot more specific data that indicates how a school is doing, though. LRSD's superintendent says the online portal is much more than that letter grade given. He says he also looks at the growth score. That's how well a student did from the time they got to school at the very beginning of the year to the time they left school at the end of the year. Superintendent Michael Poore says 30 out of 40 schools in the district increased their growth score. Others say this is not a good way to test schools, especially in the Little Rock School District.
If a parent does see a D or F, I hope what they do is they say, we need to even invest more in our child in the school.
Well, I see that they measure school failure based on the wrong things. I mean, there are lots of kids in those schools that work hard and do well.
And you can actually check out this information yourself. You can go online and see it. All Arkansas public schools are listed, not just Little Rock School District schools. You can go to myschoolinfo.arkansas.gov and type in your student's school right there and get all of that information. There is a lot, Donna.
Sounds like it. Thank you, Stephanie. And the Arkansas Legislative Black Caucus is meeting today about racial inequality of labeling schools and how it creates a racial divide. Senator Joyce Elliott says problems with the schools need to be addressed at the source. She says schools under state control are predominantly African American, and she believes the proposed framework has a racist effect.
You cannot have a framework built on 3 separate categories of schools and not understand that that is segregation.
Senator Elliott says during the next session, all of the different legislative committees need to work toward the source of the issue for education in Arkansas.
As for other schools in the metro area, most of PCSSD's schools got a C average. 6 schools earned a D. North Little Rock scored mostly Ds. The lowest grade a Fayetteville or Springdale school got was a C. Jacksonville, North Pulaski earned 2 Cs, 3 Ds, and 2 Fs. You can always see more information on our website, fox16news.com.
Now, weather to plan your day with Fox 16 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin.
Another cool fall-like start this morning, but a little bit warmer this afternoon. Temperatures well up into the 70s, near 80 degrees. Even warmer tomorrow, but that warmth isn't going to continue for long because we're talking about a big cold front heading our way for the end of the week. Taking a look outside right now, you see mostly clear skies, few clouds out there, pretty comfortable overall. Check out these temperatures from this morning. Once again, well down to the 40s and low 50s. 51 the low temperature in Little Rock, 40 in Fayetteville, and low 50s south and east. But temperatures by this weekend will be considerably colder than what you see here. Temperatures right now actually pretty mild out there. Upper 70s near 80 degrees, especially south. 80 in Pine Bluff, 82 around Camden. In the 70s right now around the Little Rock area. Mostly clear skies. Weak disturbance passing to our northwest with a few showers earlier, just scraping by parts of northwest Arkansas. That's not really what we're watching, though. It's a strong cold front that'll be coming our way for Friday. But for this evening, not as cool as it was yesterday evening, but still pretty comfortable. Temperatures in the mid 60s. We'll We'll talk more about this big cold front coming our way as we head towards the end of the week in just a few minutes.
All right, Jeff, thank you. A Central Arkansas woman entering her second week in the ICU after her car was hit head-on by a police patrol car.
It happened in Shannon Hills, and she was turning in to pick up her 5-year-old son from school. Fox 16's Tyler Thomason spoke exclusively with this woman's husband, who says the whole thing is just unbelievable.
43-year-old Heather Cross continues to recover from that brutal crash. Her husband tells me it's pretty clear who was at fault, but it's not clear who will take responsibility. The clippers sit untouched, and the chair remains empty. It's just the way Heather Cross left it minutes before a car crash that's left behind a crippling makeover.
She has fought for her life.
Matthew Cross roams the campus of Baptist Hospital, a place he and his wife have called home since September 27th. It was on that Friday afternoon Matthew says his wife Heather was here on County Line Road waiting to turn into Davis Elementary. She was eager to pick up their 5-year-old son when a Shannon Hills police car hit her head on.
It was just catastrophic. When I showed up on the scene, my son's car seat was laying in the middle of the road.
Matthew says she's suffered a broken hip, damaged arteries, and multiple strokes. He's still awaiting the final crash report. The Shannon Hills police chief told us by phone the officer who hit her was responding to a call for backup, and it appears the officer was at fault during the crash.
Never been that kind of devastation within a school zone.
An open sign still beams at the salon, while its owners fight back anger, sadness, and frustration.
We don't know who's going to take responsibility for this.
We're told the officer remains on leave, also recovering from injuries. Since this happened, Matthew Cross says he has not heard anything from the city of Shannon Hills or its police department. Back to you.
A crime alert. A Logan County man arrested for a shooting in Boonville and confessed to another crime while being questioned. Devin Mullins was arrested at Boonville Hospital in connection to a shooting that landed the female victim in the hospital. While investigators were questioning him, he confessed to vandalizing buildings and parts of downtown Boonville a few weeks earlier. Mullins is facing several counts of criminal mischief and a second-degree battery charge. An attorney in Utah and Arizona with ties to Northwest Arkansas has been indicted in an adoption scheme. Some of those charges include human smuggling, sale of a child, and communications fraud. In a press conference earlier today, U.S. Attorney of the Western District of Arkansas, Dak Keys, said Paul Peterson faces 19 felonies in the state of Arkansas. Keys said Peterson routinely practiced law in Arkansas and submitted fraudulent documents to Arkansas courts to try to conceal what was going on.
Mr. Peterson enticed and misled several women from the Marshall Islands to illegally travel to the United States in order to give birth and then immediately give their babies up for adoption before returning home.
If found guilty on all charges, Peterson would face 315 years in prison and a $5 million fine.
2 Arkansans who have made a big impact in our EMT system here in Arkansas were honored today by the Arkansas Emergency Medical Foundation. Today, they named the Finance Center after Jack Murphy, who worked to secure finances for EMTs, and the MEMS Training Academy was named after David Jones for his key leadership role in the creation of MEMS 35 years ago. He also worked to drastically reduce EMT response times.
There's not a finer ambulance system in America, probably in the world, than there is in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I'm so proud to and humbled to be a part of it.
Jones was inspired to make a difference many years ago after his daughter was in an accident, and it took 20 minutes for medics to arrive. She was thankfully okay, but his mission to reduce response times has been successful.
Good for him, and thank you for that.